What's up, meatbags? I am the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD, and I'm joined by my man, New Year's Booty, Gary, the obsessive compulsive gamer. What's up, Gary?
Hey, what's going on?
So, like you, the viewer, and Gary, you're probably wondering what is this that I'm talking about here. Intellivision Amico has three LLCs that are now suspended. Well, if you've been following this channel, you might remember that I mentioned that Intellivision Entertainment has five LLCs. They are Intellivision Entertainment LLC, Intellivision Game Assets LLC, Intellivision Games LLC, Intellivision Holdings LLC, and Intellivision Media Assets LLC. Now, I don't know why they needed five LLCs. I'm not in the business of speculating as to why they would uh, need so many different companies for such a small startup. Uh, and any speculation on that, Gary? I know you like to speculate.
I mean, it definitely seems like they're changing some things up, maybe to add some stuff to the paperwork, add some stuff to the documents. But other than that, maybe it has to do with tax stuff. I really couldn't say. But if I were to speculate, those are the few things that I would guess.
Yeah, all these LLCs were either started or changed in 2018 when the Amico was first discussed. So anyone thinking that they were doing it for some of this COVID relief or something, you get that out of your head because this was well before COVID. The only thing I could speculate on is possibly in order to protect the assets in different ways if the company went under. The games would be separate from the console, would be separate from any media assets, separate from the original Intellivision assets, uh, and so forth. Um, but again, that is all speculation until Tommy or somebody from the company tells us exactly why. Um, as you can see on the screen here, this does show the two active ones, which are Intellivision Entertainment LLC and Intellivision Holdings LLC, which was the original one. Um, that's why it has the earliest date, the 7/17/2018 registration date. Um, Now, all the other ones were filed together on 10/30/2018. Now, in California, you have to file a statement of information every even number year, starting with 5 months prior. So, for 2020, they had from was it July 2019 until the end of 2020 to file a statement of information. That's just a basic, who runs the business, who owns it, where is it located, things like that. Now, I would click on these links and show you more information. However, there is publicly available information, but sort of private information in there. Addresses and such, names of people. So I'm not going to go ahead and do it because it's not really necessary. But the Intellivision Entertainment LLC, they updated in December with a statement of information, and that is why their status is still active. Intellivision Holdings LLC, theirs was in August, where they updated their statement of information, which included a new address. They moved the address from their Irvine office to their Santa Ana, Los Angeles office. Interesting enough, the office they moved into is also the office of a juice bar. So they're sharing an office in Santa Ana, California. Hopefully, they're getting good juice there. What do you think about that, Gary? You think it's weird that they would move their location for that one LLC?
Yeah, I definitely think it's interesting for sure. It's definitely peculiar why they would do that, but I mean, as every time we bring up these weird anomalies, it's you got to take into consideration it is Tommy and it is in television entertainment, so they've done some weird things in the past, so sounds about right.
Yeah. And as I said, you have three SOS suspended. That means Secretary of State suspended. That means the Secretary of State suspended their business license or their registration, whatever you want to call it. Um, we will get into what that means exactly. However, I will note before we do that that all they had to do was file all the paperwork together at one time. For some odd reason, they decided to just file one in August, like I said, one in December, and then the other three they just didn't file them. Maybe Tommy forgot they existed. You find that weird, or again, is it just the standard?
Yeah, I don't believe that. I mean, you can't be that stupid, right? But I mean, obviously, there's a method to the madness here, but it's over my head at this point. What's going on? It's definitely weird.
Yeah, and to add to the weird strangeness, the one that was filed in August was filed by an attorney, whereas the one that was filed in December was filed by the new 6 months new VP of Finance. So again, odd. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just not used to seeing this kind of stuff, and maybe this is all just normal corporate behavior that we're just not familiar with, being average Joes, blue collar worker types.
Yeah, this
Well,
might be a little out of our league.
it could be. I mean, I'm willing to admit that this could be a little bit over my head. But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting enough to end the year on this type of video. Now we're on the official. I'll scroll up. State of California Franchise Tax Board. My business is suspended page. Now, if you go down, we want to go here to the Secretary of State suspended section. It says the SOS will suspend, forfeit your business for not filing the required statement of information. You can be suspended, forfeited by the SOS and FTB at the same time. If the SOS suspends, forfeits your business, they may impose a $250 penalty that we can collect. Visit the SOS's website for more information. And then it says if your business is suspended, it tells you can't legally do business, sell, transfer, exchange real property, file automatic extension, file a claim, et cetera, et cetera. Now, why this is interesting is because the way that the LLCs were set up and the possibility that the games are being handled by the LLC that was the games assets or the Intellivision Games LLC, um, it could mean that they might not legally be able to sell games in California at this time. Additionally, uh, they might not be able to transfer any assets from the one LLC to the active ones. Um, Again, this could be over my head. This could be, out of my league. I could be talking out of my ass. What do you think, Gary?
I mean, only time will tell. I mean, it definitely seems like there's could be some shenanigans about, but again, it's a little over my head, but it's definitely weird. There were things that you brought up before we went live, like they could have let um they could have just finalized them and been done with it. Why they let it get suspended is beyond me. It's just
Yeah,
all kinds of weird. Tommy knows what's going on. He knows that these all could have been done at the same time. So it's the question is why weren't they? So
yeah, and it is a $20 filing fee, a $5 certification fee. Damn, I can't talk. And like a 50 cents or $1 per page, printout fee or whatever the hell. California is going to nickel and dime you, so it's about $26 per. So they would have been out another what, $78.
yeah, it's not really breaking the bank like you said.
Yeah, if that $78 to file those three forms was going to break the bank, then they are in far greater financial troubles than I even suspected. Um, and for not doing that, they could face up to $250 to revive each business if they choose to revive them. Um, at the same time, they can't actually close the business legally. so the business would technically stay open. And I don't know how that would affect tax filings. Maybe they gotta keep filing taxes even though they're suspended. It might be a big hassle. It seems like more of a hassle than just either closing the businesses or just filing the form that would basically be the same form that they filed for the other one.
Right.
I mean, all they would have to change would be the name of the LLC, and everything else is basically the same. So, not sure why they wouldn't do that. Again, I don't want to venture to speculate. I don't want to. I don't want people to take this video and run wild with it. And Tony said they're going out of business, and uh, now the company's dying, and Tommy's fleeing off to Africa with the money to open a diamond mine or something. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that again. End of the year, and we're still getting these little oddities, these little weird glitches in the Amico matrix. Uh, I mean, it could be something as simple as, like I said, Tommy forgot that he had the three other LLCs. Maybe somebody who was in charge of doing that, they didn't know, they weren't aware. The VP of Finance might have not have been aware that the other companies existed. Whoever was in his position previously maybe didn't tell him, didn't leave him a note. I don't know. But like Gen X Gamer says, this could speak to a more broader, corporate atmosphere. What am I looking? What's the word I'm looking for here, Gary?
I'm not sure.
Like when culture, like a corporate culture at Intellivision where things are lax, things are not really checked. There's not a lot of accountability of what's going on, and things happen. We end up getting uh, lettering on a box for what was it, biplanes without bolded.
Right.
We get emails with misspellings and bad grammar. Things like that happen. So this could be just another sign that they're not exactly on top of their game. Really, that's all I wanted to show. That's all I wanted to talk about. Real quick video. It's not much to it. It could be a big nothing burger. It could be a huge issue that we find out more about in the next coming year. It could be that I am talking out my ass and I have no idea. And Tommy's going to gloriously shut me down as he hand delivers Amigos in the next, 5 hours and 30 minutes, according to my time. But who
Who
knows?
know? Who knows? Maybe the nectar juices are a thing of the future.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe they partner. Maybe there's a partnership between the Nectar Juice Company, which is in the same office as the Santa Ana Intellivision office. Maybe they're going to get a free juice coupon with every Amico. I'm not saying
maybe
you.
there's
I'm just speculating.
maybe there's a new nectar juice game coming out.
Maybe, but I do think it is interesting that they would let those three LLCs lapse. I think it's interesting that they would have five LLCs to begin with.
Yeah, it's definitely odd. Something's afoot, but only time will tell. So
Yeah. Uh, Once again, have a good, happy new year. I will see you next year with Gary. We're going to have lots of new things coming up. We're going to keep covering the Amico as these weird oddities, spring up. And as always, love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.